don't know, bro. Like, he just had, like, a violent fit, it sounds like. And you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave him here on his own. Doesn't know where he is. I'm gonna just leave him here. In this video, I decided if my chat was the bad guy. It's the first 30 seconds of the video, so I can't say the other version of the butthole word. But basically, my chat submitted their moral dilemmas and asked me if they were the bad guy in these situations. Another time, for no apparent reason, I knocked my brother's tooth out with one of those small children's lug boxes. Also, just generally speaking, Isaac to my brother. There's no nuance here. You're like, yeah, me and my brother used to fight, and then describe all the ways in which you specifically named him. Some of these, I don't know how you could think you were anything but the most evil person on earth. This was streamed live on twitch.tv/Kwote, where I'll actually be live tonight reacting to your TikTok submissions. If you enjoy this vid, there will be this big card at the end that takes you to another one like it. Also, subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll never miss another upload, and you can always undo it later. Anyways, enjoy this video. I, female 16, going to an advanced high school in my area. And about 1/4 into the year, a dude we'll call Andrew, 16, said something pretty racist, like pretty bad. Live in a moderately racist area. There's like a fucking sliding barometer. So it wasn't super surprising, but it was still shitty. Everyone shunned him and called him the class racist and whatnot. You hear class clown like teacher's pet. Class racist is not a title you get easily. A few months later, I was sick and missed my specialty class, advanced fast-paced science class bullshit, and the girls I was friends with were— wait, a Kwote viewer with friends? Unbelievable. I had missed a pretty beefy, confusing-ass assignment. Don't have academic classes with a lot of the same people from my science class, but Andrew happened to be in my physics class, and even though he's racist, he knows the work. Not even 10 minutes after asking him about it, my phone blew up with texts from these girls saying I was racist and a bitch for talking to this dude. Did I genuinely fuck up, or was I well in my right not to fall behind in my class? Everyone else except those 4 girls had moved on from the racist remark, even the teacher. I could see why your friends would be mad at you, I'll tell you. You make it sound like he was the first person you went to outside of your immediate friend group. I don't know, like you didn't fucking make buddy-buddy with him. You asked him for help on an assignment. Can I help people I didn't like in school because it was easier to get them away from me. Not the asshole, your friends overreacted, but I can see like why your friends would be like, why didn't you ask literally anybody else? Or the teacher, even. Am I the asshole for disliking someone just because they're really friendly? Math is my favorite subject in school, but this year I've liked it less because there's this person, let's call them number 1, that is overly friendly. Let's call them thing 1, yeah. To the point where it's obnoxious. I mean, I try to be friendly in school, but I'm also insecure about how annoying people perceive me. So it's more just complimenting people's outfits and saying hi, yet people seem to like person 1 more. There's this other person, thing 2, who sits at the table next to thing 1 and across from me, who I've been trying to befriend. And I've tried to make small talk by asking how their day has been or by complimenting one of their features. But when thing 1 shows up, thing 2 initiates the conversation. I just want person 2 would like me as much as they like person 1. I ain't gonna lie, it sounds like you're a little butthurt. I don't know. Like, you can't make people like you. This is petty. You might have a crush, that's totally fair. I don't know if you're the asshole, but you are jealous. If this person, like you think, doesn't like you that much as you like them to, you can't force that, and by continuing to be salty and mauled over this, doing yourself no favors. You're the asshole, but yeah, more of a you need to get over it for your sake kind of deal. Am I the asshole for breaking my teacher's leg? This is the good shit. And I, 15 male, was in 3rd grade, so about 7 to 8 years old. My teacher, 42 male, was really into math. Like, we spent the majority of our school day learning and reviewing math concepts. He was a high school teacher the year before, so he would teach us like high school students. He'd get mad at me for not understanding and teased me about it a lot and encouraged other kids to do the same, and it caused me to not really have any friends that year. Immediately, terrible teacher. He's the asshole on some level. Like, he is at least the asshole. You might still be, but one day towards the end of the year, me and some of the kids in the older grades were playing soccer, and I saw my teacher on yard duty, and I was really mad at him that day for some reason. For the moment I saw him, I felt horrifically angry, so I kicked the ball at him, but ended up tripping over the ball and falling back on his leg. He left for the rest of the school day and didn't come back for a week. When he finally did, he was complaining how much pain he was in, how it was hard for him to move around his house, and how his son had to help him do daily tasks. 3 years later, and he still had a brace on it and was still telling me how much it hurt and how the brace was annoying, and it kind of made me feel bad. Kind of, but not really. So am I the asshole? I mean, when you said I broke his leg, I thought like you fucking went to break it. Like, you're not the asshole. You fucking kicked the ball at him in anger, and he fell. Like, the fall broke his leg. I'm not gonna say he deserves to live with like lifelong leg pain and like the ability to, you know, physical ailment like that. Only so much sympathy. You're cool. Skill issue, broke his leg. Real. Am I the asshole for dumping Kool-Aid on my sister's groom because he cheated on me with her? So about 3 years ago, my sister, 28F, got engaged. I, 26F, didn't know who this guy was. It's my sister, and being the pretty unpopular girl she was, I knew he had to be a good guy. See, pretty and popular do not necessitate that the person she's dating is good, my friend. Yeah, I don't know where you got that. Anyways, then the vows started. They seated everyone and they brought up my sister. She looked so happy and I was so proud of her. Then they brought out the groom and I was so shocked of who it was. 25M. He looked straight at me with a look of pure fear. Bro, he like trade his in for the like newer model, dude. Holy fuck. Why did their sister marry the guy who's cheated on her sis? I'm gonna assume the sister didn't know. It was my current boyfriend. Let's call him Kyle, 25M. He looked straight at me with a look of pure fear. My sister, confused, asked him what was wrong. He just stood there. Then I just walked over the food table. Then he grabbed the humongous bowl of fruit punch and threw it at him. I then treated myself to a fudge striped cookie and left the wedding. Turned Turns out my sister canceled that wedding after that and broke up with Kyle. I apologized to her and she told me she didn't like him anyways. Nah, there wasn't even a wedding. You didn't even ruin the supposed wedding. You just like got canceled anyways. Good, you have a solid sister. Stay in contact with her. She's a ride or die. When she found out the truth, she was a ride or die. So yeah, not the asshole. Your sister's a G. I, 22, am itching to block my boyfriend my friend I've known since elementary school. Sorry, I mixed up the two fucking lines. They're right above each other. We shall call her Betty, 21F. I've realized after conversing with my boyfriend about her that she treats me as some pet. To begin, when we were younger, she would hit me with her books and kick me in the shins. Ugh. But did she whip out the steel-toed boots to give you the worst splints imaginable? This all lasted until around 9th grade, if I remember right. Truly afraid of her, TBH. I'm more American than her. I'm an immigrant with that green card. Let's go, baby. And she's American. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how that part is an insult unless there's a specific implication there. Girl goes gym for a month and thinks she's the female version of The Rock. Forgets I bench 185 and she can't lift a book bag full of books. Okay, not to mention that she misgenders me even though I've told her I'm gender fluid, prefer they them, ally. She's just rude overall, treats me like a child even though I'm older than her, and she still acts like a middle schooler. Anyways, am I the asshole for blocking her and cutting all contact with no explanation? It doesn't seem like you guys really hang out much anyways. People drift apart. You're both adults. I'm sure she can handle it. I'll tell you from experience, you don't always ope the people you're cutting out like an explanation. Do what's best for you. I'm glad your boyfriend, if this is how she's consistently treated you for a while. Yeah, friend is the asshole. Hey, 20 female, a relatively short story, but first with some context. I work at a retirement home part-time without being a uni student. The guy in the scenario can call Mr. B. Mr. B is definitely dementia-riddled and it shows. It is with added context that I'm currently in a more southern part of the US for school. Now on to things. Mr. B is a special gentleman that is relatively kind, however, causes problems with the others in the home. Now frequently, Mr. B forgets how to get back to his room, so after he picked the fight, which he is known to do, I didn't escort him back to his room, instead focusing on my other tasks. For extra content, I work a decently late shift. At some point, I was called away to go take off other things. When I returned, which was about 2 to 3 hours later, he was still there. He wasn't distressed when I returned, but I still did technically leave him after he picked a fight, and considering his temperament, it may have not been the best choice. Am I the asshole? I don't know if asshole is the right term, but that was a bit irresponsible, short-sighted. I don't know, bro. He just had a violent fit, it sounds like. And you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave him here on his own. Doesn't know where he is. I'm gonna just leave him here. You really should have escorted him to somewhere he wasn't gonna hurt someone else. I mean, it was a mistake they actively chose to make. Asshole doesn't feel like the right word here. Just a bit dumb. The thing is, the thing that gets me is that it was specifically after he already attacked someone else. It sounds like he's already liable to hurt people. Maybe they forgot. Am I the asshole for convincing my brother there were demons in his room? Listen, I was 10 and he was 14? He was the older one and fell for it? He was a Pillsbury Doughboy knockoff motherfucker. Damn, you called him fat as shit. Hated him and still do, but he believed that we were haunted. Both of my grandpas died in my basement, blah, blah, blah. You dude, the motherfucker does not care about his dead grandpas. One day we were playing COD on our Xbox. He fucking beat me, and after a game, he decided to go downstairs and make pop. Decided to scratch my leg just enough to turn it red. By the time it got back, I put on my best scared face, tears welling in my eyes, and told him that something scratched me. He freaked out and grabbed me and dragged it all the way out to the front yard. I knew I scared the shit out of him and almost felt bad, but I was committed to the bit. Long story short, he still thinks he's haunted, not our family or the house, no, but him specifically. He wasn't even the one that got scratched, and he was like, yeah, I'm the one that's haunted, not the person who got fucking attacked by the ghost. It's gonna be hilarious when you eventually rip off the band-aid and tell him you've been trolling him the last fucking however long your adulthood has been. I'm gonna say you are the asshole, because it doesn't seem like what did he do that made you want to do this? This seems like typical sibling shit at that time. So you are the asshole here. Very funny though. Okay, so this will basically suck in terms of grammar and how writing works in general. That's all my scripts, don't worry about it. As a small child, me and my brother used to fight a lot, and one day I had a pack of gum. Actually, probably wasn't mine. My brother had eaten the last piece, and damn, I was pissed. When I found out, I actually started running after my brother through the house. Our house was so small, it was more like running laps. Once I caught him, I had actually pinned him to the floor. I actually took the gun right from his mouth and tossed it out because my mindset was, if I can't have it, no one can. Another time, for no apparent reason, I knocked my brother's tooth out with one of those small children's lug boxes. Also, just generally speaking, I was a dick to my brother. There's no nuance here. You're like, yeah, me and my brother used to fight, and then describe all the ways in which you specifically named him. And you started that shit. Oh my god, you're the asshole, man. What the fuck? You are a little demon. I know your parents hated raising you. Am I the asshole for banning my ex-friend of 6 years off a Minecraft server? A while ago, me and my friend for this purpose, we'll call him Andy, had a falling out. This was a friendship that felt like I was the one who was taking care of him and he wasn't doing enough, so I had to cut ties. While this was happening, Andy was playing on my Minecraft server that me and my friends were on. I didn't ban him immediately, but when he started VCing with us and kept acting like friends with me, I had to put matters into my own hands and ban him. First, we fell out hard, like I didn't want to see him again. Secondly, all my friends who are still friends with him are the ones that set him in the wrong. Third, I know that banning him was probably a little petty, so I'm on the asshole. I mean, if it was your server and you actively didn't want to be around him because he made you uncomfortable, I mean, it's your server. It's your fucking space, brother. So yeah, not the asshole, I don't think. I've never been on Reddit, so this format is probably 100% wrong. Anyway, I'm known as the baker of the family. I make a lot of things from scratch and usually bake for birthdays and stuff. I occasionally make things from the box like fucking cheesecake. I despised whoever invented that aluminum packaging. I do love cheesecake, by the way, or no bake cookie dough. My siblings send me recipes or ask me to make things from the box and bug me when I don't. I've had multiple arguments with them about making things from the box themselves or just, I don't know, making the recipes themselves. They should, let's say like shit, oh, but it's too hard, or I usually burn things. A statement from my dad after arguing about no-bake cheesecake. How the fuck do you burn something you don't bake? Am I the asshole for complaining? Is it really that hard? I have no clue. Now, they say your family sounds entitled to your skills. I don't know. They should be grateful, like, when you do things for them, and if they ask and you say yes, they should also feel grateful. It shouldn't be an explanation or an expectation. Maybe, like, they can act, like, if they really want to, like, be self-sufficient, they can ask you to help them so that, like, they don't have to do it in the future. My friend, let's call him Melon, I'm gonna call him Fantano, keeps asking me to stop playing Among Us and says that I should play other games with him like Fortnite. I don't like FPS games. Fortnite's not an FPS. And I normally just play games that I want to play. I feel bad for my other friends when I play with one person all day. And I do play with Fantano sometimes, but he always complains the second I go back to playing what I want, which is normally Among Us. He also likes to say similar things when I draw random friends of mine, especially one who has about 700 hours in Among Us. Let's call him Evie, 32 male. I have a very different concern about this, but when I draw Evie and show my art to Melon, he would normally send an emoji and say something like, why do you always draw him but not me? Me and Melon are good friends, but I feel like he implies that I'm not giving him enough attention, so am I the asshole? So 17 female, 32 M. What's going on there? Why is he talking to you? What's going on there, man? Like, what's the deal there? Listen, I won't lie. Like, I have friends who, like, I made friends with certain adults when I was 16, who I'm still friends with today. It's not inherently sinister, but it makes your eyebrows raise, all right? It makes your eyebrows raise. It's like a friendship is like any other relationship you have with someone. Like, you got to make compromises, like do shit your friends want to do sometimes, and you might enjoy yourself. This might just be like me reading into this, but it almost feels like you're rubbing it in his face. Like, you draw a picture of Evie, then send it to the dude you didn't draw a picture of. Like, you're like fucking L dancing on his grade. I don't know, it seems like he wants to do things with his friend. He's possessive because he wants to play Fortnite with me, and all I play is Among Us. I don't know, you said you had fucking 700 hours on that fucking game, so I'm inclined to fucking agree. Play something else, jeez. But yeah, no, watch out around the 32-year-old man. Just be safe. I'm not saying he's definitely sinister or evil, but protect yourself and, like, maybe cut him off. I wouldn't, like, abort that shit. I, 21F, am constantly asked at work to do extra things and cover people's shift constantly. I already work 35 to 40 hours a week, and I work with 2 other girls, my manager, and other girl is 24. I'm always there and going above and beyond, but I feel like nobody else cares enough. So that brings us to this. Am I the asshole for not helping them out with anything anymore? Like, when they ask me to run errands and shit, I say no, covering shifts. Sorry, I'm busy. Personally, I don't think so, only because I'm only paid a little over minimum to deal with them, and it's basically to be a PA to the owner, but don't get me started on her. No, you're not the asshole. They're trying to make you do more than the job you're being paid for. If this is something you've been doing, you should A, get a raise, or B, you should be at work. If you work for like a corporation, you should be doing what you're paid to do. The job description, the bare minimum. All this fucking go above and beyond shit, it don't work. And they don't give you a raise because they know you'll already do the work without like being paid more. Take those days off. Don't do those cover shifts. Fucking whatever. Okay, so this isn't really serious since I was like 11 in this story, but one time my younger, only by like a year brother kept banging on my door for no reason when I was trying to relax. Didn't quit, so I opened the door and grabbed him before biting him on his arm. Didn't actually hurt him or anything, and we both kind of laugh about it now because I was a really weird kid. Isn't that people at school? You had a fucking DeviantArt account, didn't you? So was I the asshole? To be fair, we've both thrown each other to the ground and stuff before as kids. So hurting each other painfully on accident isn't exactly a big deal. This is just like sibling shit. You know, cute memories to look back on when you're older. You'll laugh about this. You already said you laugh about it. I would have just like scared him off, but like bro was banging on your door. He had it coming. I'm gonna say everyone sucks here because your brother's an annoying little shit and you bit him. Oh, bro is trying to be a vampire. My girlfriend has this habit. What she will do is that anytime she needs to feel silent, she will ask a simple question. Have you ever heard of Among Us? Your girlfriend's just like me for real. No matter what situation, time, or mood, she will ask. The issue here is that I have seemingly picked this up from her. I will sit in Discord calls with my friends talking about something normal when silence fills the air. I will have to say, have you heard of Among Us to feel whole? I am destroying my friendships. The people I love despise me now. Anytime I join a call, it's the first thing I say. Can't go on in life without it. I am in need of Among Us. Am I the asshole? This is, I do the same thing, but with like a rotating schedule schedule of memes. The things that I copy pasta, like vocal stem with, are just the fucking, like, the TikTok of the week. Like, I've been saying, like, you fucking for real, just in my head, over and over again. Not the asshole, that's so funny. You're stimming and mirroring her. It's just like, I can't wait till your friends start doing it too without realizing it. Because that's the real mimetic part, like, the real mimetic part about this whole thing. Not the asshole, it's just watching people slowly go insane is really fun. Am I the asshole for dating my friend's ex? Okay, so my friend has just broken up with a person I like, and almost a month after I ask her out and she says yes, and he gets mad because apparently they were still dating, and I tell him, you do know you guys broke up, right? And he said they never did. Talk about denial, and then he says he wants me to dump her, and I'm not dumping her for no reason. Me and him stopped being friends, and I'm still dating this girl to this day. But am I the asshole for dating his ex? Yeah. You are. Should've let it go. It depends how close of a friend you are, I guess. And like, I don't know, man. If your friend wants to stop being your friend because you date his ex, that's fair in my opinion. I've definitely cut people off for doing that to me. And they fucking deserved it. Like, that's not cool, man. The way you described it here. Like, a month later, and you already had a crush on her? Like, damn. When my dog had her first litter, she had like 9 puppies, and we would let them run in our backyard with our 2 other dogs. To get straight to the point, I accidentally stepped on one of the new puppy's paw, and it screeched like all dogs in pain do. My family looked for the noise, and so I wouldn't be blamed. I blamed my male dog and said he stepped on the puppy. They bought it, and to this day, they don't know I'm the one that stepped on him. Am I the asshole? Yes, you own it. You are the asshole. Listen, it happens. I've accidentally stepped on, like, not with shoes, thankfully, but, like, we've all stepped on paws before. It fucking happens, and we feel awful and terrible. But, like, usually what I do is I don't try to get away from responsibility. I immediately fucking get on my knees and beg for forgiveness to whoever I unintentionally hurt. Yeah, your dog did nothing wrong. You are the asshole. Anyways. That is the end of our, Am I the Asshole stories. I like this format a lot because it lets me talk about shit that, like, would have to come up in conversation through chat or whatever. Like, I can just go on tangents with whatever the subject matter is. I don't know, it's kind of fun. But regardless, YouTube. Did you know that you could have watched this live on twitch.tv/Kwote, been a part of the input? You could have been a part of, like what we determined. I'd stream live on twitch.tv/Kwote on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You got fucked.